Welcome to Beans and Breakdowns, a podcast dedicated to bridging the gap between specialty coffee and the heavy music community. On this episode, I'm joined by Jesse and Bailey, the founders of Anarchy Coffee Roasters out of Kelowna, British Columbia. They are a 100% anarchist, anti-capitalist business, roasting amazing coffees and promoting loud music. So grab a fresh cup of coffee and wake the fuck up! Well, what's going on, Caffeinated Crew? Today I'm joined by not one, but two guests. The people who started and run an amazing coffee roaster out of Kelowna, BC, Bailey and Jesse. How are y'all doing this afternoon?
Fantastic.
Doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm great. Sweating a little bit, but it's just because the world is burning and we're all about to die. So let's drink some coffee.
Oh, yeah. Cheers.
What are you guys drinking over there?
Yeah, I'm drinking some straight edge, some decaf. It's a little late in the day, so why not?
Awesome. Bailey, what do you got?
Cool. I've got a Colombian coffee going that we have been given by our friends here in Kelowna, a Colombian couple. They've got a farm down there, and they've been able to just bring, suitcases up at a time. And they're hoping to bring more up eventually. And we've just been lucky enough to sample it out with them. And it's delicious.
I don't think it gets any more direct trade than that.
Yeah, for sure. We'd love to get into that more, but that's absolutely a good start.
Definitely. I had the straight edge this past weekend. I did an episode at 10 p.m. my time because the guy was in Hong Kong, and so I had the straight edge. So it was really good, really great decaf. But tonight I'm drinking the headliner.
The headliner, nice.
Yes, which is it's a Costa Rican Achiaries estate. That's a hard word to say if you're not Spanish speaking. It's a light roast. You guys know this already. I'm just telling the peoples out there, but it's a natural anaerobic Costa Rican single origin. Delicious. I'm tasting some of that red apple. Definitely the spiciness of the cinnamon is there. So very, very good.
Cool. Yeah, we're pretty happy with that one. That's our first anaerobic process, being that we've had the pleasure of working with, and it's going pretty good. We're loving it.
I know that people who listen regularly will know, but I'm 100% on that ferment train. I'm on the ferment craze, 100%. And so any coffee, I think every coffee I have at my house for the most part is some form of fermented process.
Nice.
So we'll just add this one to the list.
They get pretty tasty, those ones, for sure. Yeah, no, and that headliner, that's something that we'd probably slide that type of bean into as far as our own lineup is concerned. We try to get something a little bit extra special for that bag in particular, just something that is a bit of a rotator, something that is a bit more unique to your everyday coffee drinker.
So I would love to know. I love the name of the coffee. We have straight edge, which for all my hardcore and some punk friends out there, they'll know exactly what that is. The headliner, which everybody should know what a headliner is. And then you have the other blends like Bats in the Cave and some of the other ones. How do y'all come about naming them and correlating them with what you guys are rotating?
A lot of sleepless nights.
So like coming up with band names.
Exactly.
Pretty much. Yeah, we think long and hard and throw a lot of ideas at each other, and we gotta ixnay some, but make a short list of others, and then at some point, narrow it down to something fun, something on brand, obviously, and we try to keep things a bit humorous and like Bats in the Cave for our winter light roast. It only feels appropriate. But keep it light, keep it fun is the main idea.
Yeah, especially in those Canadian winters where we have darkness for 18, 20 hours a day, I think. So.
Oh, yeah.
That's great. So the headliner does rotate depending on what you guys have in season.
Yeah, so generally with our lineup, basically the darker ones we try to keep relatively consistent all the time, even though sometimes the bean will change as crops are used up. And then our lighter roasts are the ones that we'll definitely switch up a couple times a year, just to get some new stuff going on and try out different flavors, different origins, all that good stuff. And then that headliner is something that we'll splurge on, even just get little bags of green coffee, of those types of things. And just try to get our customers, which, is a small section of the Kelowna community, just introduced to what these interesting coffees are all about.
So yeah, more of like the micro lot would be the headliner, I guess. And then
Exactly.
you have your staples. That's awesome. Yeah, Kelowna, how is the coffee scene out there? Because I have zero BC experience.
It's growing for sure. Yeah, there are new roasters popping up all the time.
Cool.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Like there's a couple good, really good third wave coffee roasters around here. But when you look at other major cities, obviously we've got a ways to go. But it's absolutely growing popularity, and the influence from these bigger cities are definitely leaking into the valley here. And there's definitely been a lot of other micro roasters around that have been here for a long time. But it seems like you just can't have enough of locally roasted coffee around here.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, even in Montreal, we have, it seems like a new roaster every 6 hours pops up. But there's still no shortage. It's amazing, getting to hang out, talk coffee with people getting introduced to it. It's amazing. So
for sure.
I'm
it's more like every 12 hours over here that a new one pops up. But
good.
It's happening.
Yeah. So the Kelowna area it's a bit outside of Vancouver. Just pardon my ignorance a bit, but it's towards Whistler, or where in respect to, I guess, Metro Vancouver is it?
Other direction. It's more east. It's about 4.5 to 5 hours.
Okay.
Away, and Whistler would be north of Vancouver. So
okay.
And Whistler is actually where the company started and where Bailey started roasting.
Yeah, that's what I had seen on the website. So that's another question that I have, is the coming from building your roasters, starting out. How did that shape your perspective on roasting coffee? I'm sure it's a bit different than somebody who goes out and buys an Ikawa or like a Baymore and starts roasting in their garage with chaff flying everywhere. This is a whole different ball game.
It was a really fun way of going about it. And I think luckily I've got a bit of mechanical background. I'm a pretty hands-on person, so I wasn't really too shy of spending that time in my workshop just messing around with these sorts of things. Pretty much I just started like most people do on a popcorn popper stovetop type of thing, and then graduated into the workshop and just started messing around with old scrap pieces of metal and everything, and ended up with this big Frankenstein tabletop size machine all of a sudden. And thankfully with that experience, it gave me a lot of fundamentals about the basics of roasting, even though they were absolutely not precision roast by any mean. It was pretty cool to just go through that entire process, starting with the machine itself, understanding how they work, and then, chucking some beans in there and trying to roast them to different points. And, the results were surprising. For sure, we've come a long way since, but for a start, I'm pretty thankful for going about it in that way, just not only because it was fun, but also a tremendous learning experience.
Yeah, I imagine that's coming from a completely different way that most people approach roasting. Maybe they were baristas or worked in, like, I don't know, just the coffee industry, or a production person already and kind of knew it. But starting from that, like becoming a home roaster first, and then just trial by literal fire.
Yeah,
like
totally.
learning how to roast.
For sure. Really cool. I'm glad I kind of drew the line there on that one. Like, the plan was to just kind of keep tinkering away and kind of keep expanding and improving the machine that I had going on. But I figured, hey, if we're going to get into a business some sort down the road. Let's just get a proper machine. So we put some money into it, got a 1 kilo Mill City roaster, and yeah, the rest is, well, a couple of years of history anyways.
Yeah. That Mill City is beautiful. The orange finish on it. I love it.
Oh yeah, no, it's just a bomb-proof machine. It's been through a lot. We're the second owner of that little beast there, and it's still ticking. So we chucked a couple thousand batches through that thing, and then last summer we were lucky enough to upgrade to a 10 kilogram Mill City roaster.
Wow. So y'all just got a new 10 kilogram.
Yeah, about a year old now. And it's really freed up a lot of time, for just the other aspects of setting up a business. And just recently, we've actually acquired a space that we can put that thing in and call home for the next bunch of years.
Awesome. That's really cool. I know that a lot of my friends start out on small, like I have few friends here that run roasteries, very micro roasteries, but they're all talking about upgrading because the demand for coffee still hasn't reached that, like it's not oversaturated even in the Montreal market somehow. Yep. But yeah, they're all looking at 10 kilo or 30 pound or, whatever system of measurement you want to use. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy that the same is going on on the other side of Canada, that everybody wants coffee and the volume is going up and up and up. And it's really, really great that you guys are doing that volume.
Yeah, we're stoked. We're just still taking it one step at a time. And, once we're fully set up in this new spot, then yeah, we got a lot of plans.
So Jesse, I know that you joined early on or helped start in 2019. Is that where you kind of, what are you handling as far as Anarchy goes?
Yeah, right. Well, obviously helping with the day-to-day, our weekly tours that we do with the farmers markets, and then built the website, promo photos, all that kind of stuff. I come from a pretty creative background, working in film and television, in the camera department, and yeah, able to put that to use with the company, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. I do love the approach that you guys take from start to finish, naming it like a tour or upcoming shows, or it's really cool.
Yeah, so we're definitely music influenced. Yeah, rooted in punk rock for sure.
Yeah, clinging on to that punk rock dream.
Yeah, and it feels like the DIY also mentality coming to just approaching everything from like, I'm just gonna learn how to do it myself and then making it happen. I love that.
It's definitely the most fruitful in my opinion.
It is definitely very rewarding. In terms of Anarchy, how has like the local community that you guys are a part of involving the music side as well? Because I know that you guys have a pretty active punk rock scene, and I've seen some of the videos that you've shot, Jesse, with the cancer bats and all that. How has that shaped how Anarchy kind of operates and does what it's doing as far as farmers markets and then like the music community?
Well, tying in the music it's just something that comes naturally. And as for the local scene, it's slowly growing. Like as things are opening up post COVID, the local music scene is growing. We have local musicians who come by our trailer. They kind of flock towards the Anarchy logo, and so we get to meet a lot of people, and that's a lot of fun.
Do you guys do any like pop-ups at shows? Has that happened yet?
There was one actually, Lagwagon in Vancouver. Our friends Russian Tim and Pavel Burez were opening, and we actually did a coffee with them last year for their album release, and yeah, they invited us to set up a little booth in the merch area, and it was great. Just selling coffee and shirts.
That's awesome. And you guys, are y'all doing brew guides, like teaching people how to brew, or is that just kind of like buy the coffee and figure it out yourself?
No, we don't do anything officially like on our social medias or anything like that. I think there's just a bottomless amount of content out there being produced by some pretty worthy creators, So we will obviously provide tips to our customers, like they can ask as many questions as we want, and we will happily talk their ears off as we talk to them. And then, of course, point them towards some quality resources that are already out there.
Cough, James Hoffman. Is that?
Yeah, that's one prime example.
I think he comes up at least once a month on the podcast, so we're just keeping it steady.
Well deserved. The guy's a great source of entertainment.
It's really bad because for the first 3 years of living in Montreal, I didn't know that Scott Rao was from Montreal. So
I had no idea. I didn't know that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I didn't know. I had no idea. And then I walked into the coffee shop that he started one day, and they were like, Scott Rao. I was like,
no kidding.
Wow. Didn't even know.
Yeah, we're definitely followers of him, purchasers of his books and everything. Yeah, the guy's a wizard.
Yes, coffee royalty.
Definitely.
Well, outside of doing the roasting and obviously expanding the business, because it seems like you guys are really kicking it and killing it over there. What are y'all currently working on outside of it? I know, Jesse, you do shooting and some video stuff. What outside of that, what are y'all working on?
Bailey, do you have a life outside of this?
It's pretty sparse. My latest vacation was about 8 hours, and then I had to get back to work after that. My background is in ski resort operations. So a large part of my passion falls in working on ski resorts. I build terrain parks and play around with those big machines out there that roam around the mountains at night. So I was lucky enough to dabble in that a little bit this past winter up at the local mountain here, Silver Star, and keep my teeth sharp a little bit doing that. But that's pretty much it for me. Jesse has a few things going on, such as show promoting. Maybe he can talk about that a bit more.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's something I've always kind of done in the past is whenever the opportunity arises, whether I was in college or, after college in Whistler, and just put on shows. Hey, I got friends, bands coming through. Let's find a venue. Let's put something on. And now that my wife and I have made the move out to Kelowna, focusing more on Anarchy and music is, it's always there. And I've shot hundreds of bands in the past, and like photos and video. And when I see if they're going on tour or hear about it, we got to get them to town.
Yeah. So is there a big need for promoting out there? Like just getting bands there in general?
So I moved here probably about 8 months ago, and there's a big like folk and country scene here in Kelowna, but not so much punk rock. A couple of venues that even being outside of Kelowna, like I had heard of, had shut down over the pandemic. And there are some really good people here who are trying to get the scene going again. And I'm just happy to be a part of that and learn about the local scene here from them. So
that's great. Yeah. Making that scene happen. I know sometimes it's hard when you go from like a great scene to like somewhere where it's kind of struggling. You want to do what you can to get it. Like we have more potential. So
it's definitely got the capacity for that. There are some bigger venues here, and I've definitely heard of bigger shows that have happened here in the past. So we just got to keep that going because the people will come out.
Yeah. And I know like we lost a few great venues here in Montreal as well. A few of them surprisingly were able to recover, but there's some that closed for good that always sucks. Always. So
I'm just happy Foofs is still around.
Foofs is strong, man. It's still there. I go like, I think I've been like 20 times in the past 3 months.
Nice.
Wow. Yeah. I'll be going again in November to see Comeback Kid and Cancer Bats.
Oh, amazing.
So it's going to be great.
Sick.
Fucking awesome.
That's awesome.
Well, you guys, this has been really fun. I love hearing about punks and punk rockers that love coffee as well. People from the hardcore scene. I'm a hardcore kid at heart, so we're all kindred in a way. But yeah, I love what you guys are doing out in Kelowna, building the scene, building the coffee scene. and just making it happen. That's really, really cool.
Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you. Yeah, I know we're stoked to be a part of it, and yeah, I know we're very pumped to do this with you. We'll definitely have to get together for some beers and some shows because we'll be in Montreal at some point, probably for a Pooza Fest of some sort, I'm sure.
Oh hell yeah, hell yeah! Did y'all make it out to the last one?
No, I went in 2018. That was my last one there. That was awesome though.
Yeah, my last one was 2013.
Wow.
And Bailey and I went to 2012. Yeah, my old band played 2013.
Nice. I was supposed to go to the last one 2022, but my family was in town and I couldn't go.
Damn.
And I had friends that were really bummed out. So
priorities.
I think I'm expected to go next year. I don't have a choice. So you guys should come out.
Yeah, it's on the list. We'll see if we can make it happen for sure.
Maybe the flights won't be as insane as they are right now.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's fucking crazy. Actually, Bailey, I do want to know, what is the biggest air you've gotten at a ski resort? Because now that you brought that up, I can't stop thinking about it.
Oh, well, there's a couple ways to look at that on a park jump. The biggest one I've hit is probably 70 feet or something. And then, I don't know, I used to do a lot of big mountain stuff and hitting cliffs and such. Probably 40 or 50 feet's my biggest there, if we're bragging.
Damn.
Yeah, no, I'm an old man now. My knees are all rickety, so it's just not the same. But hey, it was good while it lasted.
Yeah, you just got to ride that wave until it crashes.
That's it. Then observe from the sidelines.
Awesome. I didn't want to lose sleep over that. I would not stop thinking about it for the rest of the night. I just have one last question for you guys before we go. And we can do this one after the other. We'll start with Jesse. What's your favorite city for Beans and Breakdowns?
I knew this was coming, and I still don't know. There's so many good cities out there, but I'd probably have to say Toronto, mainly because of the music scene there. That's the big one.
Awesome. Bailey, what you got?
I gotta say it would have to be Vancouver, just because I am most familiar with both the music and the coffee scene in that place, and both aspects are just absolutely incredible. You got some next level roasters coming out of Vancouver, and obviously all the big bands and small bands for that matter too are rocking out in Vancouver. So love Vancouver every time.
Oh yeah. It's always that the North American tour, and it's never Eastern Canada. It's always like Vancouver and then the US, or Vancouver, Toronto, and then the US. So you guys obviously have nailed it. Montreal is like the forgotten cousin that they don't visit. But yeah, Toronto goes hard too.
Which is a shame.
I know. I mean, Montreal's the best. I can't say that. That's the
party city.
Yeah, it's crazy. The beer's stronger in Montreal.
For sure. Well, when we're there, you'll have to give us a tour of some of your favorite spots, and maybe we can revise our favorite location to Montreal. Love to see more.
That will happen. I'll make sure that we take care of the bean side at least.
Hell yeah.
So I have a few spots. Too many spots. I'll have to make the list smaller. But yeah, definitely. Well, guys, enjoy the rest of your evening. I've really enjoyed hanging out. I have finished my cup of coffee, which means that I won't sleep until 3 a.m. But that's the price that you pay when you drink coffee this late. So
oh yeah,
some dedication. Love it.
I got to do it. Well, enjoy the rest of your evening, guys. We'll talk really soon.
Sounds good, Grayson. Thank you so much.
Yeah, take care.
Thanks.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of Beans and Breakdowns. I want to say a huge thanks to Jesse and Bailey for hanging out with me on the podcast. I think it was the first time that I've actually tried the coffee from the roaster that I was talking to, so that was a really great experience. Right now, if you go to anarchycoffeeroasters.com, you can order a bag and get 15% off your order using the code WAKE THE FUCK UP. That's in all caps, all together. There's no spaces. So be sure to check that out. If you've enjoyed the podcast, please subscribe and leave a review. You can also find out more information about the podcast by following us on Instagram at Beans and Breakdowns, or on the web at beansandbreakdowns.com. Until next week, be sure to stay caffeinated and wake the fuck Vodka.